on 3rd and 4. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And for Coleman, if you combine the rushing and receiving yards, close to 1,000 last year. He had 8 touchdowns as well, and was just really a great 1-2 combo with Devontae Freeman.
An outstanding one, and just think, if he's on just about any other NFL team, he's probably the lead running back. And Devontae Freeman gets the bulk of the carries. But Coleman, when he does get his hands on the football, he really produces in a big way, speaking of the numbers you just gave.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. They come up in an offset eye. A first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he cuts it right sideline. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Amir Abdullah, 25 yards to the house. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Ryan going up top. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play there. Ryan to Jones. And even 50 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Ryan, and complete on the right side. It's Tammy. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's 3rd down for this offense.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver. And Brandon, I think Mohamed Sanu had a nice career while he was in Cincinnati, but he really elevated in 2016 in Atlanta, the most catches for himself in a single season.
59 of them, 4 touchdowns. Really a nice compliment to Julio Jones, and he was a nice compliment in Cincinnati. I don't want to say he's not a number 1 receiver, but he plays that number 2 slot well, doesn't he?
He does, and I think it's because of his versatility. He can play in the slot. He can play out wide. They can use him as a wildcat quarterback. He has thrown passes in the NFL. In fact, going back to his days at Rutgers, I think he threw 18 passes while he was at Rutgers, so you never know what you're going to get when Mohamed Sanu has his hands on the football.
Stafford, flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Vic Beasley in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. It's complete to Golden Tate. And Tate just finished his 7th NFL season. First 4 in Seattle, last 3 Detroit. And each of those 3 years, 90 or more receptions. Finished this season with 91 catches, over 1,000 yards.
And I saw him expand his game in 2016. I saw him operate out wide in the slot. Also came into the backfield and got carries and then ran routes from there. His yards after catch really jumped back up in 2016. And Golden Tate has shown that he's more than capable of being a number 1 receiver in the NFL.
And on this offensive unit, one guy that's proven himself early in the NFL is Eric Ebron.
A very reliable target for a quarterback. They always love tight ends because they're right in their sight lines. If you get it to this guy, though, he can take it the distance.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Stafford on first down. Finding time. Looking for Bolden, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Collins. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Now Ryan. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come out here in the eye. Again, Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And ready to go for another offensive series. Out comes Detroit, and a Detroit team that, boy, lost in the playoffs this year. Don't have a playoff win since 1992. But it was a tough end of the season. There were injuries involved. And I know you think that this is a crew that really could make some noise again next year, don't you?
I do, because I think they gained so much confidence this season, battling back from a tough beginning, working their way into where they looked like they had a chance to win the division. And while they didn't do that, they did get into the playoffs. Despite a myriad of injuries, they think this team has a bright future, and they feel confident about 2017.
Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And here we go. We get to see the Falcons again on offense, a crew that last year scored 540 points, tied for 8th most all-time. But my question is this, such a crushing Super Bowl loss in the offseason, does that set you back big time, or does that fuel and feed you momentum-wise going forward?
It should fuel and feed you momentum-wise going forward, partner. That's exactly how it's supposed to react, and that's what you'll see in the Falcons locker room in the entire offseason. They'll talk about finishing, unfinished business, things of that nature. But we have seen where teams have not recovered from it. Remember the Rams? They got to a Super Bowl, got beat by the Patriots, didn't get back there again. The Broncos in 2013, #1 offense, #1 scoring offense. They didn't get back in 2014, but they did in 2015. So you can recover from it.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. He's got time. Looking for Bolden, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. after the interception. Here's Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot. Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And he's got room. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. On 1st down, Ryan. It's hauled in by Hardy. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And it's 3rd and short.
And there was a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Complete over the middle to Hardy. And he's going to be marked down deep in Detroit territory. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan. He's got time in the pocket. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Complete to Wright. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there. So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
I tell you, on 4th and 1, when you're way back on your side of the field, I thought this might just be an attempt to draw them off and get the first down that way. But they were going for it the whole time, and they wind up getting it.
On 1st down, Abdullah. And some room to maneuver. Amir Abdullah, the 30. And he cuts it out left sideline. Room ahead. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions add on to their lead. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? But Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. And it's 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Surveying the field. Caught on the right side by Jones. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. It's caught. Jones. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, 22 yards. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Eluding the pressure right. This is caught. Was he in? Yes. 2 points. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But He identified an open target and put it right on him.
And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. To throw on second down is Stafford. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And it's third down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Now look at this. 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. So they will go for it. Stafford. And Tate's got it. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
And the good thing about the top-notch safeties, they can play from deep coverage or they can play close to the line of scrimmage, and the end result is often the same, a big-time play for their defensive team. And that's exactly what we just saw.
They'll run. This is Zenner. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line.
Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going?
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The tight end, Tim Wright, his intended receiver. And that brings up fourth down. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Stafford will stay out there. He'll lead his guys up to go for it on fourth down. They are going to go for it. It's Stafford. Flush to his right. Caught right side, Tate. Golden Tate's going to go. An unbelievable play there on 4th and long. 61 yards.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on third down plays, but when you go for it on fourth down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
They'll run here with Zenner, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They come out here in the eye. Now they send a man in motion right. 3rd and goal now. Maybe the offensive coordinator thinking blitz here. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Theo Riddick, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
He was looking for his tight end, Jacob Tammy, there. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to try and go deep again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And
under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Looks like Ryan's going to stay out there. Indeed, they're going to try for this on 4th down. To throw is Ryan. He's going to air one out. And this is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They come out here in the eye. They pitch to Abdullah. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And they're going to speed things up here. They go with Abdullah again. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Well, that was better than the first go-around when he lost yardage, but still nothing there, and that sets up a 3rd and long. Tough spot here.
Put it mildly. Sometimes I wonder if some of that old-school football should come back into play. You know what I would think here? Quick kick. Try and change field position.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good, and that will swell the lead to 16. Well, the offense got the ball in a good spot, but they went nowhere. They settled for 3.
Brandon, I think it's safe to say that was a major disappointment. Had a great opportunity, excellent field position, and did not be able to move the ball at all. Big-time letdown.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
All right, different topic here. 2018, the Super Bowl, traveling north, far north to Minneapolis. Early predictions for that one. Who you got?
Well, you know, everyone's still waiting in the NFL for a home team to play in its home stadium, right? So could the Vikings be that team? I'll start in the NFC, and I'm going to say no. I think Seattle, starting to get near that maybe last run with their defense. Earl Thomas returns. I like Seattle coming out of the NFC. How about you?
Well, I'm actually going to take a Dallas Cowboys NFC title run. I think that they came so close this year, probably most talented going into next year.
I like that one. Well, in the AFC, I'm going to go with a team that if they improve their defense and their quarterback stays healthy, they could be that team, the Oakland Raiders.
Okay, I'm going dark horse. Cleveland Browns. Let's go.
Hey, from worst to first.
Deep drop to the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. To throw again is Ryan. Flushed out right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Lions have recovered. It gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be gathered up in the end zone. And that's a defensive touchdown. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field, that close to the goal line. The defense, they are looking for that football. They got it. They scored it.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
To throw forward is Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
This is Abdullah. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll come out in the pistol. They go back to Abdullah on first. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play. In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
A good pick up there of 20 yards. And he was able to find a very soft spot in that zone coverage.
I love that term, Brandon. That soft spot where you find the open area, set up, and catch the football before the hard collision comes afterwards.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Second down following the run.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
That was a good, forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well, and we saw on that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
Third down now following the run. They'll run here. Abdullah. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and run with Abdullah. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball. My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Give them a lot of credit. They ended up running the ball on a key third down situation. They were staring 3 and out in the face and found a way to flip the script and keep the ball moving on offense.
To throw is Stafford. And he rifles one incomplete. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and even before we get to the draft, you start with the Combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams, so your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction. And then you have the OTAs and mini camps. We get to see them on the field for the first time. And we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
Grady Jarrett in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. Again, we'll see the pistol here. So they will go for it. Stafford under pressure, and they got to him again. Vic Beasley in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now Ryan getting it out left side to Sanu. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. And now they're in the hurry-up. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons draw a bit closer. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. On the run, it's Zenner. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Wright's got it. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. For the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll give him 8 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
It goes as a pickup of 23, and it'll be 1st down Detroit.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad. Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
So they're on the 5-yard line here, 2nd down and goal. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They go again now with Zenner. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Zach Zenner, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Lions add on to their lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Nevin Lawson there on the tackle. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Here's Ryan. Flush to his right. And he's got some space here. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. Now Ryan on second down. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. He's going to wind up and air it out. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Detroit getting set to go now. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
Now Stafford hands to Abdullah. And he'll power his way up near the 25. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure.
Touchdown, Detroit! Golden Tate, 75 yards. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Incomplete on the right side. It's Tammy. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
On Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. It's hauled in by Hardy. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's Ryan. Finding time. He sets to... And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Aldrick Robinson, 49 yards. And the Falcons cut into that lead. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. Atlanta football. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They are in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the...
And that's caught inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Ryan. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time, and that takes us from second to third down.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
An expecting pass. Now Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Here we go with 2nd and 7. On the carry, this is Zenner. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. And quickly, they get to the line. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
32, big 20. Easy, got 40 gun.
They're going to run it with Abdullah. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Jim Caldwell's guys cannot come through there on 4th down. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Now it's Ryan. Flushed out right. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people.
On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
They come out here in the I. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. From the 4-yard line, it's 1st and goal now. They run. Devontae Freeman. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
An extra DB defensively here. Big stop needed on 3rd and goal.
He may be a blitzer.
Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal.
21. Go, blue lady. 58. 51.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. See if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Simple slant route, and partner, really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. Now Riddick. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And where did this one go out? Not good. Let's see. And they're going to say inside the 35-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And last time they were stopped on 4th down, had a drive stalled out. We'll see how they respond this go-around.
I'm eager to see what their mindset is, because moving the ball, feeling good, and then that abrupt stop on 4th down. Do they go back to the bench and go, oh, boy, they've got something for us? Or do they go to the bench and say, we blew it ourselves. Let's get back out there and move the ball again.
And is it different when you get stopped on 4th versus punt? Is that more motivation for the defense, a little more confidence?
I think as a defense, you're so excited with a 4th down stop. Making them punt, that's your goal anyway. But a 4th down stop, that's almost a sign of disrespect that they went for it in the first place. And when you get that, you feel great about yourselves. After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
He's got, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Detroit getting set to go now. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
And they're going to speed things up here. Stafford gives to Abdullah. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. See if they stay on the ground for second down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.